Set. We are live. All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm incredibly excited to have a very special guest, someone who's not only my partner in life but also a powerhouse in the world of marketing. Please join me in a warm welcome for my amazing husband, Conrad Quinter, the mastermind behind Market Monster. Conrad has been driving business and growth and helping countless companies scale to new heights. And we're going to dive into his journey and share some insights and discuss what it's like building a business together while being a parent. So, babe, Conrad, thank you so much for being here with me today.
No problem.
With this little rugrat here.
She's taking over. How's it going?
So, this is Conrad, y'all. So, how's it going? This is my beautiful daughter, Azalea.
Yeah, this is our life. So
It's
she's a
craziness over
perfectionist.
here.
I don't care about that. So listen, you want help with the babies?
Wait.
You always got. See, that's the problem. She's a perfectionist.
Look at that. We're already.
No, because you're saying wait, and you're trying to be perfect, and you don't just take action.
I just wanted to know.
And I'm trying to explain myself.
How did you start your entrepreneurial journey?
I met you. That's how. And I was forced to figure everything out to provide for my family. That's the truth of it.
And what inspired you to move from like your traditional job to starting your business?
I quit my job and I was done with it. I had to figure something out. So then I learned Google Ads first, and I sold for this moving company, and wasn't a bad person or anything. It's just he couldn't service a lot of the jobs that I was doing. And I wasn't realizing the money I was spending was like, I ended up just pretty much like not making a lot of money because I just took a deposit of, I just took a deposit of the move. So if the move was 10 grand, I took a $2,000 deposit. The move was, but whatever it was, right? So that was that. But maybe you only get 1 or 2 sales a week. So the money you're spending for what you bring in wasn't good. Trust me, most moves aren't 10 grand. They were like, maybe 5,000 or 4,000. So it wasn't that crazy, right? And I wasn't realizing how much money I was putting into it for getting back. So like when I hear companies I'm working with who are like, oh, I don't know, man, $150 a day. Like I literally had like, maybe when I quit that job, I probably had 20 grand to my name. And I know it might sound a lot, but when you have $4,000 worth of bills a month, it's really not a lot at all. I think my first year in entrepreneurship, I think I made like 30 grand. But the point I'm making is that people talk about how little they can spend and like, oh, I don't know if I can spend that much. Man, we spent this much this month. Like, okay, well, I was just a salesperson making leads for somebody else and then selling it. And then I got you right here. This is a little ugly.
That's Azalea.
Sounds like a cat. Okay. So long story short, babe, come on, babe, lock in.
Oh, I'm locked in.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I am. Okay, wait. All right. So what? You were talking about your challenges.
I'm still explaining. I'm distracted. You're getting distracted, babe. Lock in.
I'm not distracted. I'm interviewing you.
While you're on your phone.
Anyways,
while she's on her phone.
My question.
Anyway,
I just want to know what your challenge, like, what are some of the challenges?
The challenges is like people want to be an entrepreneur and people want to get into it all. Like you have to a lot of times be sometimes grateful for the crappy situations you're put in because they push you harder to be able to accomplish stuff. Like she wants to know, like, how do I do it? Okay, well, I had to take care of you, and then eventually Azalea came around, and I had to figure out how to take care of her. Like, I know you're making some money and stuff, but you like,
but that was a ton,
so.
But that was also when before I moved out to Florida, because I was in Tennessee, like we had worked that out where it was just like I had a job before I moved out here because I didn't want to fully rely and put that pressure on you fully.
Yeah.
But you did work it out where it's like I'm going to support you with like rent when I first moved out, and I would like buy the groceries.
She did. So one thing she did do, she did buy the
and
groceries.
then I would pay for like the vacation. Like we went to Costa Rica. I would buy, and then I would buy him like nice like Gucci shoes. So anytime I had
any designer stuff I have,
I would try to buy like the nice stuff for him. So it's like I would take my paycheck and apply it to other areas where it was like the luxurious side of things.
But this was when we first started out.
That's when we first started. That was like 8 years ago.
We didn't have a lot.
Yeah, that was 8 years ago. We even had a roommate when I first moved into the apartment for a second. It was only for like maybe 6 months. And then that roommate moved out, obviously, because it was probably like getting a little crowded with our husky dog. But then from there, COVID happened around 2020, and I was in the car sales game. Actually, he inspired me to get in sales to like learn to make more money. I just wasn't used to.
Because I was always in sales.
I was never in sales. I was always taught, go to school, get your degree. Here, I'll show y'all. Get your degree. It has dust on it. Arizona State. I was taught to go to school, get a good job, stay there for years, and I was so scared to like go after any type of sales that when he turned me on to watching like Grant Cardone and stuff, that's when I was like, okay, I'll try the car sales game because Grant, says that's the fastest way to 6 figures if he had to start over. Like that's, so I was like trying to, I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. I was just trying to do something that somebody else had done. And so like, I always suggest like you mimic somebody who's already been successful, but like you weren't really like mimicking anybody else. You literally learned a little bit of Grant Cardone stuff, like with his
never
sales
paid
game.
Any coaches.
He bought like the blueprint from Grant. And then, but he was already really good at sales in the moving industry. So, but yeah, viewers, man. So then 2020 hit, like lost my job working car sales.
Yeah.
And also that was near the time that we were supposed to get married. Our rent was getting close to like $2,400 a month. And we were like kind of freaking out because we had one income at that point. It was my marketing job. I lost my marketing job.
Oh, well, you lost your marketing job, and I quit.
And then he quit his job because same day.
I quit my job.
I remember that was the worst day ever.
And you lost your job.
That was like the worst day ever because I never ever forget to fill gas in my car. And that day, after I lost my job, like I guess that day I happened to forget to fill up my tank, and I lost my big marketing job. I think it was paying like $60,000 a year. And I got to travel a lot. I felt respected because I had my own like nice office. It was great. And then all of a sudden we lost our job because there was turns out it was like a Ponzi scheme, unfortunately. And 100 people lost their jobs. Anyways, I got in my car and my car ran out of gas. So not only did I lose my job that day, I ran out of gas, got stuck on the side of the road. He quit his job the same day.
Babe, I don't think you ran out of gas. I thought it was in the radiator thing.
No, I ran out of gas.
Oh. I rescued you a couple times.
Yeah. Well, that was from car problems. But then he came and rescued me, got me flowers. I'll never forget it. It was the worst day ever because I really, really loved that job. And then I found out that he lost his, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Or no, you didn't lose your job, you quit. And then we're like, oh shoot, how are we going to pay this rent? So then we put like rent on my credit card, and he would give me, rent. No, you put the thing. I would put the whole rent on my credit card, and then he would always give me half because that's all he could do at the time. Yeah, but he had always supported me like all up until that point. So I was like, that's fine. We'll figure it out. But like, oh my gosh, we were broke. And then we were like freaking out because then I got my car sales job. Things were starting to get better. I was getting, I think the most successful month I got, like I was going to got like 6 or 7K in that month. So I was on to making like 80,000 that year. But then it was just like COVID hit. So then I lost my job again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, oh shoot, what are we gonna do? So I'll never forget, like, I lost the job and then we were getting married, and I don't even know, somehow like we needed to get out of our apartment situation. That was rough. Like so what we did was got out of the apartment situation. I randomly somehow found through COVID like a apartment at a sister property in West Palm. So we got out of our lease, which was ended anyways, and I was able to cut our rent in half to like $1,300. So it was like hallelujah.
Yeah, 13.
We cut it in half.
I think we paid.
So then we were able to kind of like start over. We're like, okay, we don't have enough money to live at this place. I just lost my job. Conrad can at least pay for that rent. $1,300 was pretty like reasonable. But he didn't have a job, mind you. And it was like, I was always telling him like, hey, you should just go get another sales job. But then, so you go ahead. I want to hear more. Like
that was before we moved. I was already doing.
Yeah. So you were building like funnels. We have, we create funnels.com, which you still have.
Yeah. So I just did whatever the heck I could from what I learned. Now, while I was working, I was learning the game itself. Like I learned how to make leads. Like before I left that company, I was already making my own exclusive leads for a moving company. And where I took them to a landing page. And then from that, I think they're playing. I took them to a landing page, and then from the landing page, they filled out their info. So I was running Google ads, YouTube ads, or sorry, not YouTube, but Google ads and Yahoo ads. And I was learning pretty much my basics from there. And I started watching YouTube videos like, now that I think about it, I guess it's like 8 years ago. Already,
yeah, we were going to the 10X boot camps. We were like networking. This is before Azalea came into the picture. And then, yeah, you were just hustling, and then I remember he started doing Facebook setups for like $300 or $500.
That was only like probably like 5 years ago or something like that. That wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. It was only 5 years ago, but that's how he kind of started making money for himself as an entrepreneur.
You just gotta, like, if you want to make money, like there is no like little bit. You just have to literally hustle and work your butt off. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people, to make their entrepreneurship journey work, they're not put in enough uncomfortable situations to make it
100
work.
Yeah,
you have to be in uncomfortable, a lot, maybe not all the time, or you have to have someone who's like, this is what you need to do, or have a blanket like, hey, here you go, you can go full force and whatever happens. That's why I try to help with her sometimes, because like I try to give her that web. I'm like, you have the web, just do whatever the heck you want to do. You'll be fine. Like you'll figure it out. And you have to go through the failures to learn what works. Even now, all day long, like I was looking at my account and I was looking, okay, well, there's like 5 people that didn't renew this month from the new clients I signed up from last month. I said, okay, why? Well, I got them leads, I got them this, but okay, well, I changed my thing. Normally I do messenger ads, right? So normally I have it where it comes right to them, but sometimes I get mistake messages, but it comes right to them. So they can't F it up, basically.
He has over 40 clients, by the way.
Y'all. No, I have like 30, but the point is.
And he's a high six-figure earner.
Yeah, like, I do well.
Super high. I do well. So like our goal is to hit $1 million a year.
Yeah, but I guess the point I'm getting at with this is you're going to have to fail. Failure is part of the game. You have to fail in this, and you have to fail a lot, and then you fail again, and then you fail again, because you always want to make the process better and better. How can I make it better? How can I make it better? And like I could always do the same thing, but guess what? That same thing doesn't always work. So you have to constantly change and tweak. And for the things that I do, which is, provide appointments and leads for clients.
Sorry, I just thought you were cute.
Oh, thanks. Is you have to constantly change things. You have to constantly adapt. You have to constantly fail. Like you know, and when I was looking at this, as I was saying before, tying it back to the old statement that I was coming in at, like when I was spending $150 a day, when I didn't really have a lot of money, I had, I guess, a decent amount signed up, but when you don't really have a job or anything, you're trying to figure it all out, that money goes away quick. When I was doing the Google ads, I was spending, like I said, about $150 a day. And that was back when I feel like I didn't even really have money or much. Like, so the fact when
we were planning a wedding on top of that.
Well, no, not yet. Later that was.
Oh, yeah.
So well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, you have, people will say they don't have this. It's not I don't have it. A lot of times I don't want to spend it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to try this. I don't want to message 100 people. I don't want to fail. I'm scared of fail. Like, it's going through these things is so you can be successful, because you have to know what doesn't work. Like, for instance, like I told you before, with those people that I was working with, I looked at the account. I was like, oh, okay, well, they're not renewing that. Like, okay, well, if people are getting a hold of 40% of the leads that are coming in and they're not making sales, like, again, like I tell everybody, it does not matter what your cost per lead is. It doesn't matter your cost per appointment. If the person that you're working with does not make money from what you're doing or helping them with, if you are a lead person or a marketer, then it just still doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing you can do. There's only so much you can do as a marketer or a lead person, I've learned. And I've tried to do so much more. And I've realized there's just only so much you can do. You get the person the information. What they do with that info is secondary. Like, for instance, a company I'm working with, like, asks me all the time, oh, do we get any leads today? Can we check on this? Can we do this? And they're low budget people. Like, they're doing like the least budget possible, right? And then he said, well, I have a new sales guy or manager, so connect with him. Okay. So as soon as I start connecting with him and doing that, sending the stuff to him, now all of a sudden it's like 50% of them are booked. So every other lead that comes in is an appointment booked. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, we're booking and everything, right? So what does that tell you? It comes down to the person, right? So what I've learned is that's terrible. Out. Okay. What I've learned
Our daughter came in with some party favors that are just, it's just funny. It's okay. You can give them to her.
So what I learned is that you have to go after. Anyways, what I learned is you have to go after what works for that person. That's the key of it all. What works for that person. It's not that John got 50 leads. It's not that John got 140 leads. It's the fact that John was able to get 4 sales out of it, or 5 sales. This is off.
Yeah.
John was able to get 5 sales off of it. You know what I mean? That's the whole game, is, do they make money from what you're doing? And we're putting in and getting out. Now, a lot of people don't understand how the game actually works as far as making money. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about, is making sure you're bringing in money from the leads and the appointments that you're bringing in. Otherwise, it's a pointless thing.
There, it's okay. She's good. We have a 2.5-year-old, and she's super cute, and definitely. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, babe, is she has a bunch of straws in her mouth. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to ask you is, I know, you're so goofy, girl.
Then hide things.
So, all right, y'all.
So long story short, you have to do what works for each
and I wanted
person.
Sorry,
That's her. She leaves this stuff out.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. She found some party favor things. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, babe, how do you balance your personal and your professional life with us? Like,
I don't. You guys, I don't have any. I don't.
He has, so
I don't balance.
Have a man cave, though.
Right, but with all respect, like, I don't get any time to myself.
It's supposed to be positive. This is real life, y'all.
I'm just being real. Like, I don't. Like, I work my butt off to make sure my family survives, and my freedom is maybe watching something. I get to watch something for 5 or 10 minutes before, she opens the door, this and
He's
that.
one of the hardest working.
And then you tell me, hey, honey, open the door. I'm like, no, I'm hanging out. No, no, no. You have to spend time with us. And then, so I really don't actually ever get a break. And sometimes that's frustrating as, like a husband, a man, like I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that we're always doing super well. And sometimes, you need like the separation. I don't have a separation. I'm watching the basketball game and I'm texting my client, or I'm opening up my laptop and I'm looking what's going on with the ads. Like if you want to have a close to $1 million a year business, or make close to $1 million a year, or anything remotely within the vicinity of it, you have to work your butt off. Like there is no like they paint the picture of you work a couple accounts and then you travel all the time and you enjoy it and like just do whatever you want. No, that's not it. Like, sure, like you can make some money doing that, but to enjoy the life that you want to have and bring in the income and stuff like that you want to have, like there's no way, like she's just feeding. That's all. There's just no way around it.
Over here.
Yeah. There's just no way around it. Like you have to put in the work. You have to. There is no way around it. And they cookie cut all these programs, these coaching things. Hey, you're going to sign up for this challenge or this coaching and you're going to hit your first, 10K real easy. And there is no easy way around it, right? If you don't want to message 100 people a day and post constantly and think of all these different offers, then at the end of the day, like you shouldn't be doing it. Like stick to a regular job, stick to a sales job that pays you 100K, or you can make 100K.
Find ways to make more money inside your current role.
That too, but sometimes you can't make, but like it. And I talk about this with my, I'm gonna have another business soon, but my,
you had like
a bit like my other business partner is, you have to get, if you're making a certain amount, you're going to be stuck at that amount. Even if you do well or do something great, you might only go up a little bit. So if you want to make money, you have to be in some type of sales. You have to. It is the only way to make, like, unless you're a doctor, a lawyer, a contractor,
some type of trade.
Trade. Like if you make real money, like you have to be in some type of sales. And even that, like when you have your own company or you're working for somebody else, you're still selling yourself.
Even lawyers, you have lawyers.
You're selling the case, right? You're selling your knowledge of why this is correct, or why this person didn't do something or did something. Like that's part of the game. So no matter what you're doing, you always have to be doing some type of sales in my opinion, right? So you can do sales for someone else, you can do sales for yourself. And if you like that security, that standard 9 to 5 thing, just work and get an hourly pay, but do not, I hate to say it like this, don't dream of what could be or this and that and get down on yourself or this and that if you're not willing to say, you know what, I am willing to do this. I am willing to learn, because it's just what it is. You have to go through the steps. You have to go through the failures. You have to go through the hard stuff to be able to get to that other side. And if you're not willing to, then stop dreaming of it and stop making yourself feel bad when you look at it and think, man, that would be amazing if I had that. I don't know why I can't do that or this. Don't look at yourself that. Don't think of it. It's a choice of you're staying in the comfort zone. Once you realize you're in a comfort zone and you've been in a comfort zone for a long time, then you can say, hey, okay, well, I can step out of my comfort zone. I can get into some type of sales. When I first started those sales, I might be bad at it. I might be not good at it. But you know what? I know I see other people. As long as you can see other people in the industry or in your own job or this and that, and know what they're making or what they could be doing or whatever, then you know that time you put in invested, eventually it will click and eventually it will change. You're going to
have the right strategy.
No. It's just because they've failed enough to learn what works and what doesn't work. At first you're going to suck, then you're going to suck less, then you're going to be okay, then you'll be semi-good, then you'll be maybe good, then you might be good. And then from good, you might be pretty good. And then you might go like really good, great, and then like a master. Yeah. But you have to go through the steps of failing and not being good. You have to. Like you don't, like even people in sports and basketball, like it yeah, I mean, when
You don't just get on a bike and know how to ride a bike like our toddler.
Yeah, sometimes but I'm just talking about like things like being really good at basketball, being really good at soccer, but like elite level. You don't just get there. You don't just do it from playing, 3 games with your friends and then all of a sudden you go to a pro league. Like, it doesn't happen. You have to learn the skills. You have to practice every single day. But what happens when you practice, you fail. So you have to fail in order to do better. And with my own life, I try to tell her all the time, stop watching, like look around you, look at what I've created for us. And we've created now with Azalea. Stop looking so much of like the new course. This could be this. Hey, I got this book and that. Who cares?
Right.
Just take action.
That's
you will be able to write your own book by taking
that's
action.
The difference between me and him is like, I have always been, because I was like raised to go to school, get a good job. I've always needed to like follow a lot of direction, and like
but she doesn't like direction either. Too.
But listen, the difference between us is like I continue to always learn things, but then he actually implements and takes action, and that's the difference. Is if I could have just taken like as much action as he has taken, then I would completely be in a different situation. Now I have the knowledge though that like
you have so much knowledge. You could write your own course, but if you don't,
yeah, I'm pretty close to like being able to blow it out of the water. Obviously, mommy life, you have much less time now.
But your results you get in life and everything is strictly based on the actions
that you're taking.
That's it. If you don't take, you could learn everything. She knows so much course, so much book, so much stuff. But
yeah, like originally I taught him. So I went to a conference and I learned the $5 ads, the Shopify
from
stuff.
Chris Records. So she showed me that a little bit.
And
but
we
then
broke even on some. I did like Coffee and Jesus shirts. We actually broke even with that. But
our
then
first time,
I gave up because I didn't think it was good enough. I quit. I should have just kept going with that and continue to implement it. What he did though was he's like, oh wow, this ad stuff, I'm going to start using this in our moving industry. And so he started testing it with the current job in his 9-to-5. He started applying the information that I gave him. And he just kept taking action with it, so much so that he learned it good enough to start doing the ads, the Facebook ad setups for other
and one
businesses.
Thing I want to say is don't charge people anything to show them. Like, don't take a course. Don't take a course. This is a problem that all these kids do, and I see it all the time. Like, oh well, like they ask me, hey, how did you get so many clients? How'd you do all this? Like, I got 2 clients, I charged them and stuff like that. I was like, do you even know what you're doing? You just took a course and you just copy what the course tells you. That's all you know. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself, because at the end of the day, I don't shame them for getting a new sale or whatever, but I shame them for having zero knowledge of how to help that person and charging somebody to help that person.
And not
charge that person, say, find new people, this and that, and say, hey, you know what, to start out for the first month, I'll do it for free. Or how about this? Every appointment I get you, since I'm helping you, you give me $50 or $100 or whatever for every appointment that we set. How's that? Oh, that's pretty fair. Okay, cool. And then at the end of it, now you have an ability to offer a testimonial, because they can't ever say anything bad about you. You're doing something for free to help them because you learned a new strategy and you know that you're helping them. So now your testimonial is very viable. Now you run ads from that testimonial video, or show that testimonial video all the time on your stories and your Instagrams. So they know that if anybody's having X problem in their business or whatever they're doing, now they know that if you were a marketer or whatever, and you ran ads for them, now that they know that you're a person who could solve that problem that they're having.
Now, what about for the people, for instance, like when I'm starting out and it's like, I don't want to charge people, but you're like, no, you need to charge people.
I try to charge people because you know what you're doing, and you have me to literally make sure it doesn't fail. But how do
people know what to charge for their worth if they get to that point? Because I still struggled.
You look at what type of business that they have.
I was struggling really badly.
You look at what type of business they have.
I mean, like, hey, these are my prices.
You look at how much that they're making. You know, if they're making only a little bit of money, you can't charge them a ton, because it's not even going to be profitable for them to use you as a service.
I would say also just to start like creating your offers and just get it down on a piece of paper?
Sometimes, but sometimes not. Like again, difference is you jot everything down. You look at everything. You go over everything. Okay, this is the offer. No, that's not going to be my offer. Oh, I'm going to change this and
I
change
know.
that. I just the easiest way with all this stuff is once you figure out you do have a skill set and you can help somebody, is just figure out some way to create leads, whether that's ads or whatever it is, and then just start hopping on the phone and talking to people, and then people will ask you, hey, can you send over your pricing? Can you send over an email? Can you send your proposal? And then sure, then it comes time to, okay, what am I going to do for this person, this and that, and then you send it out to them, and then now you know how much you're going to charge for this, and you do a little market research before you send out the price to them. So that's it. At the end of the day is like you charge accordingly to the industry you're in. If a person's making $400,000 a month, there's no problem with you charging a couple grand a month for your service. Just depends what kind of service they got.
For the people watching live right now, if you have questions, please drop them down below and I'll definitely get to them. Obviously, we're talking about love and business and how we're building our empire together. And he's a high six-figure earner with our goal is to hit $1 million a year. Eventually, I would love to hit $1 million a month, but that's another story. So but another question I have for you regarding, working together, like he's completely built market-monster.com fully on his own by himself. Like I've been supportive in the back end of like giving advice and knowledge, but he's been the action taker day in, day out, getting on the phones. People are like, oh, where does he get his business from? It's because he runs ads for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I find really interesting though about like marketing companies is some of them don't even know how to get themselves leads in marketing. Like I'm like, how do you have a marketing agency and you don't even know how to create your own clients other than posting on social media? Like that's a strategy, but the advertising is, really how you've blown up your business, our business. So, I guess, what's a success story that you've gotten one of your clients or for your own business?
One of my success stories for my client is they were kind of a startup, but not. They're an HVAC company doing $40,000 a month, which honestly, that's $400,000 a year. Like for a company, that's not good. Like that's not a lot. It's very low. And in a year and a half, they're going to hit $10 million this year. And I've worked with them for less than a year and a half. So that's a success story.
And he was able to get how many trucks?
Oh, he went from like 4 trucks to now a whole fleet, like 17 plus.
And he got a Lamborghini for himself?
Yeah, and I think he just bought another truck for himself. He has a big $900,000 house, Cadillac. Like his whole life changed, and it literally in a year and a half, his whole life changed.
So
and that works because I think differently than other marketers do. And I think of how can I get you meetings with people and get you in the door versus how I can sell you something. Everybody's scrolling up and down on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. They're not shopping. That's one thing you guys don't understand. Where a lot of people don't understand is they're not shopping. Is they're just scrolling about their day. And if you can interrupt them with something of value, meaning not teach them some webinar thing or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for local businesses, give them something of value that they want, and it'll work. Like, let's just say your karate studio, you know what I mean? You could say your first session is free, or buy 2 sessions, get 1 free, or buy your first session, get your second half off. Give them reasons to come to your business. Don't just advertise you're a great business. Hey, we're a great, we offer karate classes from this to this. Like, okay, cool. That's cool. Somebody sees it. But now why do they want to come into your zone? right? Why do they want to come into your gym? Why do they want to get a roof from you? Why do they want your HVAC company to come out there and do something for them? Why do, let's just say you're a dentist. Why do they want to go to your dentist's office when they could go to the, like literally probably over 400 dentist offices in a 30-mile radius of you? Why do they want to go to you versus somebody else? And it's the deal. You have to create an offer to get in the door. Create offers to get in the door. Don't create offers to try to sell something up front unless you know the market is at a position where they're ready to buy, which it's always going to be a small percentage. Find those people who aren't ready to buy, but you can go in there and offer some type of value for what they're looking for or what they need at that time. And most people don't even know exactly what they need. So if you can go in a step before they know what they need themselves, now you can win because they think they need this and you're there before that step, right? So that's the thing, is creating offers to get in the door. And that's one thing I've helped a ton of companies do. And when they understand it, they do well. But when they don't understand it, they don't do so well because they just don't get it. They don't get why they're there. They don't, oh, well, this person said, let's just say, for instance, you put an ad up there, learn how to get a new roof for little to no cost, right? Okay, well, the person's raising their hand because they need something to do with the roof, right? It's not about the little to no cost. It's the fact they need a roof, right? So do you want to pay, 4 times as much for the same person you're going to meet with anyways, or 4 times less, right? Do you want to meet with 4 times more people or 4 times less for the same money? And that's just determined to the company or up to them, right? And you still are always going to deal with a certain percentage of people who are not going to pick up the phone and are going to pick up the phone. No matter how high quality of lead you make it, there's never going to be 100%. You know why? Because even when people go through my funnel and do all this, I still never get 100%. And there, no 100% does not exist. And the sooner you realize that, then you can frame everything else behind that. Okay, well, what's a percentage I am willing to do? Well, instead of looking so much at the percentages, why don't you look at, okay, how much does it cost to meet with Mrs. Jones? Let's calculate that. So flipping the script to, I need this lead cost. I need this and that. Look at, okay, well, I got 6 leads today. 5 of them were crappy, but you know what? We did set an appointment. Okay, well, how much did you spend today? Oh, we spent $100. Okay, great. You got $100 per appointment. Fantastic. And that's the framework you have to look at. And that's the framework you scale. You don't scale the leads. You don't look at, hey, because we're getting this cost per lead. You look at, what does it cost in a week? How many appointments do we get? In a 7-day period, how many appointments did we get for that money that we spent? Okay, that's our cost per appointment. Okay, well, now how many appointments do we need to go out to make a sale? Now that's your cost per acquisition. Now, once you figure that out, then you could say, how much money do we want to make a month? Okay, well, if it costs me $500 to make a $20,000 sale, now all I do is say, okay, well, for every $500 I'm spending, I'm making a $20K sale or a $15K sale, whatever that is. And then you just look at your numbers and say, I want to make this per month. Okay, well, then you need to spend this to make it. And as long as you're always going after not the top of the market where everybody's ready to buy and find those people beforehand, you can always scale and keep scaling because you're hitting your market at every point instead of just one point.
Yeah, Marissa joined in and she said, I have so much knowledge and little action. I feel that. She said, great advice so far on everything. So thanks,
No
thanks, Marissa. I guess another thing, so I don't think we really went into exactly who you're helping right now. You're helping roofers and contractors.
I can really,
but he can help anybody. Yeah,
it's
once
understanding this concept. So listen, you're a marketer or this and that, and you're watching this. Listen, it's all about the offer. I spent $500 for a 1-hour phone call one time. I never buy courses, but I do phone calls or consultations here and there because I'll pay for somebody's time, but I don't need a course. I don't need a bunch of videos to tell me what to do. I get it if somebody just tells me. So the point I guess I'm getting at is the biggest thing whenever you're running ads for anybody is always going to be the offer. That's always going to dictate their cost per appointment as far as the total cost. So the better the offer, the lower cost per appointment it's going to be, as long as there's a need. Remember, but with roofers, contractors, all that stuff, they don't always want to buy a new kitchen today. They don't always want to buy a new roof. So you have to figure out if with those type of people how to get in a lower thing. Just like a dentist, right? There's all different pieces to it, right? So let's just say you're doing dentist. There's cleanings, and then there's people who want to do a whole, get their dentures in for 15 or 20 or $30,000, whatever it costs, right? So it's all different people. But guess what? If they don't get their teeth cleaned there, are they ever going to get their whole mouth replaced there? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen, right? So you have to create the relationships so you can get in at those lower tiers, and then whatever else that business offers, as long as they give value to that person at the lower tier, then they're going to use them for the higher tier offers as well.
So another thing, like when you first were starting out, what were some of your goals as far as like
my first goal? I remember I had one goal,
but like the financial goal, and then how did you handle any setbacks and failures when
I didn't really look at them. I didn't really look at it. So I remember I had one goal one time. I remember I was like at the old apartment, and I had a goal of hitting one time a 40K month, and I thought that was pretty crazy.
I just didn't even believe in those numbers, to be honest.
I didn't believe them.
The 40K a month, I was like, how does, like, I was used to making 40K a year, when I was like 21, and then even in Florida, that's the most amount of money that most of these companies want to pay is like 40,000, 50,000 tops a year. And so when you were like, oh, I want to hit 40K a month, I was like, what? Like, how? How is that even possible? So like, can you kind of like chime in on how you've been even able to hit those types of numbers?
I have a certain price for my consulting or my marketing. Once I figured out, okay, that's all I'll charge, then I just figured out how many clients I needed to be able to hit that. The goal with a lot of this game, and like I just told you, I think when I signed on these 5 or 6 new people, like it didn't work out, which is like I get frustrated because I can't control everything, and I'm learning like 9 times out of 10, you're probably better going with something easy that's handled for a client, like a phone call coming in, a message that comes in, like a lot of them, I'm going to start having a questionnaire when I send it out. Will you call a lead 15 times or more? Yes or no? And then knowing from that framework, what type of campaign I need to create for them, because the success of it is based on their sales ability and their follow-up ability and things like that. And if they're bad at it, no marketer on the planet is going to fix it for them if they're bad at it. So if they're not good at it, then you need to make it really easy for them, So back to what I was saying is you offer value, you talk to people on the phone, you get those conversations, you find out what they need in their business, and then you figure out, can I solve that problem? Can I help those people solve that problem? Like actually solve those problems, not just say you can, or not just do this and that to make $1, but actually solve those problems. And a lot of people, I will also say this, a lot of people don't use marketing for what it is. Their job is to get you in the door. If they're getting you in the door and you're not literally calling and texting that lead until you tell you to F off, you are not doing your job. You shouldn't even be marketing. You shouldn't.
A lead gets cold as it gets old. But a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that.
I know they think they do.
You have a 60% higher chance of getting the sale if you just call the lead within 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot more than it's so. The stats are if it's 5 minutes or more, the chances of getting hold of it go down by 400%. Wow. 400% if you don't call within 5 minutes.
But it could be even a DM, 4X. Like a DM or just texting someone. Yeah,
even a DM, like all of a sudden you're out on a boat. Like I hear this, I'm out on a boat. I'll give you a call when I get back or whatever. Okay, well, kiss your money goodbye.
So the difference about Conrad is like, we'll be anywhere and he'll answer the person right away. And sometimes it does take me, like, I can't get mad when he gets on a phone call. I'm like, oh, he's going to make money. Because I'm like, oh, shoot, this is money that's going to buy me like a brand new couch or something, Like, so being his wife, I don't ever get mad at him. I don't ever say no to him bringing in the dough. That's my way of supporting. I never tried to say no to him in any of those regards. Like I always try to be supportive in that aspect of while we're building our empire, I've just learned that like I have to be on the same page as my husband. I can't give him a hard time if he can't go to something. I'm just like, you know what? Go, like, do your thing. Like sometimes when we got the birthday party stuff going on, I'm like, you know what? He can't make it. I don't give him a hard time about it. I'm just like, okay, he's got to work. He's going to make the money. Now, what it is my job though is to make sure that he gets like fed, and then obviously he it's odd to me. It's like sleep, sexy time, or what's the last one?
Food.
And food. So I have to make sure like those things are taken care of, so he is always happy. And so ladies,
she tries.
I try. Like
I'll just give her that. I say she tries.
I made you breakfast this morning.
You did.
Eggs, bacon,
green eggs and ham.
Yeah, I made the green eggs and ham this morning. I was cooking with Azalea.
That was cute. That was fun.
So I guess what I want to know about is obviously like I want you to,
and also
okay, so he has been able to like, by the way, y'all, I'm like nursing my daughter, and this is my creation room. He does have his own man cave. Normally
she's like a perfectionist. Like I was ready the whole time. Like I was sitting.
I didn't want to show the bed, but
who cares?
So this is our like kind of guest room and my creation room. But anyways,
if you saw what people looked like on their Zooms, but 5 minutes before their Zooms, or saw their rooms, it's not real. Nothing's real.
We could have a studio. We could have that. We could have an
office. Nothing's real. The Instagram's the pictures you see on Instagram aren't real. The YouTube videos aren't real. Nothing's real.
So going into that though, like I want you to like share your tips for maintaining your mental health and your physical health, because oh my goodness, your body is the best body, and I'm not just saying that because you're my hubby, but you keep with it, and like you inspire me to keep with it because you're so active. He actually inspired me to do an NPC show. Had I wanted to do it all my life. I saw like MTV Made, where I wanted to do the fitness competition. I saw the girl long time ago, back in 2010. I was like, I want to do that. But I could never get myself to do the bodybuilding until I met him. He was like, no, 100%. You just need to hire a coach. And I didn't think about doing that. I didn't know. So he kept me on track with that. And I don't think I would have ever accomplished that if it weren't for him. And now I'm on my weight loss journey after I had the baby. And
it's accountability. I'll tell you this, it's accountability.
But okay, so I do want you to go into your tips of your mental health and your physical health while running the business, because every day you dedicate yourself to basketball. You always hire like a coach. You go do your workouts. So like also talk about the supplements and like the way the brain works, because that's like your true genius of the holistic health stuff.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like, people take a lot of prescriptions and things like that because maybe they're depressed or they have ADD. And a lot of it's just like certain neurotransmitters and things like that are imbalanced in the brain. So maybe you have too little of dopamine, maybe you have too much dopamine, maybe you have too little serotonin. So there's certain things you can take, like just certain amino acids that can help you with that.
Even with like ADHD,
and you can find like you can do a neurotransmitter. You taught me
about the dopamine levels. Right. I was like, what?
But the thing with my wife, like, okay, I love her, I truly do, but her ADD is horrendous. It's awful. She doesn't even like take the stuff I tell her to take the stuff I label to take. Like it's.
I think it's because you're my hubby, and it's like but I'm getting better.
Not even that, like there's a lot of times though, like we're like there's something very important about to go on right at that moment, and her brain is like just like
He loves me.
I do.
He loves me. That's why he helps me. He helped me through my.
I try to help her with everything, but then I'm trying to help our family and herself. So sometimes for a man, extremely overwhelming. It can be.
You're a high performer for sure.
And the stuff with the mental health, I think like sometimes people need to be in difficult situations because difficult situations mold you and put you in a position. Like I also truly think, besides the neurotransmitter stuff, like there's just the A people and there's the B people, right? But the B people can turn, I think, into A people if they're put in uncomfortable.
What's the difference? What's A and B personality to you?
A's like extremely go-getter. wakes up in the morning, this time, does this. Like you just
Very
like,
diligent and
and
disciplined.
always going, high energy, etc. B's like relaxing, reading tons of books, like, oh well, I'll finish that task when I get to it, and I'll do it.
I would say I'm a mixture, because when I was doing my fitness bikini stuff, I was on it.
But guess what?
Like,
you can't be. You don't. When you're faced, I feel like, with certain decisions in life or certain responsibilities, you don't have the, like. Look at, because of Azalea. Look at how much more you actively try to clean. You actively try to cook. You actively try to get things done because she is here. Because you have to.
I have to.
You have
yeah,
to.
because mommy life is completely different.
There's the have tos,
so
or
much
like
time
you
for
do something
granted.
because you want to, or maybe need to. But when there's like, you don't have a choice, or X will happen, almost, so you could say consequences, right? You could say, I feel like a lot of people may not have enough consequences on their back if they don't perform or make something work. For my consequence, I don't have the house, I don't have the car, I don't have, like, it all goes.
Can you grab the charger real quick, just so, because before it dies? Look, it's about to
I don't know where it is.
It's in your office. Sorry guys, it's about to die, so I don't want it to die in the middle of the conversation. But like, so for instance, like I had, when I met him, really bad ADHD, and we're like learning to go by like he has the website, but you go to this website and you basically have to like pee in a cup, and then they check your levels for your brain, like, to be able to optimize it. Do you know what website that is?
We can drop it in the
Yeah,
chat.
so there's this website. I'll drop it down later.
But long story short, if you have like your neurotransmitters just imbalance, like if you're feeling like, I don't know why, I don't have motivation, I don't have this, like you're probably low in dopamine. Like I could probably say 90% sure you're low in dopamine if you don't have that get up and go, that drive, that in the morning. A lot of times you're going to be low in dopamine, and it's not that hard to do. You can just buy some tyrosine from the store, test it out, take 1 or 2 capsules, first thing in the morning, and see if it helps you. If you notice like you're super blue, like you don't have, like, you're just not feeling good about yourself, this and that, and just like, no, like, but you have energy and things like that, but you're sad, like, you might want to go something with the 5-HTP. Now,
we're not doctors or anything.
I'm not a doctor.
You got to talk to your doctor,
but like, certain things like that, those are just, simple amino acids. Just go, after this, if you want to learn more, just YouTube amino acids and mental health, or type in neurotransmitters, and things that can help that, how to boost your neurotransmitters, right? And then you'll go see the path of the tyrosine, you'll see the path of the dopamine, the serotonin, the norepinephrine. These are, you have things. One of the best books I could probably recommend is The Mood Cure by Julia Ross. And if you just type it in online, you can find her YouTube, you can find all the stuff. And it's really simple. It gives you all the different supplements that you could try, and then you try them out individually and you see which one works best for you. And you'll know within 5 minutes or so how it's working or not working. And if you have a reaction where it's like too much feeling this way or that way, you just take some vitamin C, and that can neutralize everything. You feel fine. So, yeah, I mean, it's all about just like, I feel like that's take me here is just having, having, like you said, consequences if you fail, if you completely fail, like if you complete failure, you never works, or this and that. And when you have those things against your back, you really, I feel it's really hard to fail or not succeed. Like people spend how much, look at your phone time. Go look at your phone time on your phone right now. Tell me what it says. But it says 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. What if you took that same time in either A, learning, or B, taking the things that you did learn and putting action into them? You can't fail, because it's just eventually you're showing your value in what you do to someone who needs it. And if you can create that connection, then someone's going to ask, how much is your service? How does your service work? And then you go down that path of selling. And then once you figure that out, now the transaction comes in, and the money because you gave enough value, someone felt that it was worth giving you money for. So now that transaction happened, and now you just made your first sale. Then you make a second sale. Then you learn more value. Now somebody even pays you more. And then before you know it, it catapults up. And that's just what it is. I just feel like a lot of people may not have enough against them. Now you can't just go out. Like, I think it's very difficult without a skill set or value that you're giving to the market, or knowing what you're giving to the market, just go out and make money. I feel that's very, very difficult. You have to find some type of skill, some type of value, something you can give to the market or a business or a person that they're going to want to make money. Like, you could be a personal trainer, but again, the problem with that is, like you can only make so much money for so many clients that you see. You see what I'm saying? Now, if every client paid you $2, $3, $4 a pop for every session, great, that's awesome, right? But most of the time, they're paying you $50 to $150 per session, and you have to see so many clients to be able to make X amount of dollars. And all what I do, or this and that, or sometimes when somebody's doing a roofing or contracting job or whatever on somebody's house, is saying, hey, we're going to we found a way to offer a $20,000 product, right, and put it on in half a day. And we have to give 40% of that up in materials. But guess what? We get to keep $8,000. And guess what? It's just learning how to leverage your time for more money. That's all. And as soon as you figure that out, then you can make the money that you want to make, because you've learned that we all have the same time. All things take the same time, but there's different industries and different things that make more money for those pieces of time.
And then what would you say to the guy or the girl? Talk about our date nights on Friday.
Because we sometimes have date nights if Lily's here. So if we have a babysitter, then we have date nights, and that's fun.
So we always try to do date night on Friday.
I would suggest, like, when it does come to intimacy time, don't if the intimacy time is interrupting something else, let the intimacy time happen. That's your marriage. That's your everything. That is your foundation. Don't go say, oh, hey, I'll be right back, I gotta do this, or hey, I'm watching this thing. When that thing finishes, then we can. Because you have to make sure that when that time happens, it happens. That's what keeps that connection going. Yeah. Otherwise, the person will feel that, like, oh, well, that's obviously more important than this right now. And there's about that. And there's obviously times where it's like, hey, you have the sexy time or whatever, where it's like you're almost trying to plan it. But I thought, never suggest that. Just keep everything spontaneous. That's the way to do it. And it's like, you have to make sure that you're going through with that. You have to make sure that, so like, you get your wife a glass of water and show her, hey, here's a glass of water for you. You want a water or something like that. Show you care about each other, just like you did on day one. On the day. Show up day one, just like day, 4,541.
Like, we found a gym that has childcare so that we could continue our tradition of working out together. So, like, I truly believe ladies and men, like, it gets on my nerves sometimes, no offense, but like, when I don't want to say the word let go, but like, it's like, oh
no, it is what it is. So I'm gonna say, I'll speak on. I'll make it easier for people. Don't let yourself go, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it like this, and
to the guys and the ladies.
I am saying this right now. I'm gonna say it like it is. This is for guys and ladies. Okay. Now, women most of the time are more of an emotional connection, talking, like more connection like that. Men, they're physical attraction. That's how men are. And I hate that I might get what I get in here, but that's the truth of it. And sometimes the truth isn't always what we want or whatever. But what happens? Why do guys get slapped sometimes, or at a restaurant, or like, oh, you're looking at her? Why are they looking at her? Because they're attracted. It's not like they're all of a sudden some random emotional connection, connected, like a brainwave came in their head, and we're like, oh wow, she likes to do this, she likes that. No, it's an attraction, right? So it's important on both sides, because women as well do like physical attraction, but their first thing is the emotional connection and connecting emotionally, feeling comfortable, talking about nice things, etc. Where men is, they just, it's like seeing a Ferrari drive by. Oh,
but the women need to feel that they have the time for themselves to do that, because I have noticed that a lot of women don't take the time for themselves because their men don't be like, hey honey, I want to give you the break to go give yourself an hour. And that's one thing that you do for me, is you always say like, hey, before the baby wakes up, that's your time. You can go and I'll watch the baby in the morning as she wakes up, or even let me go in the afternoon, and you're like, this is your hour to go work out, go do your thing. So like I feel like a lot of men need to support the women in that way, so that the women can have the time for themselves, and you're really good at that. And then whenever it comes to like him playing basketball, I'm always like, you know what, go have fun with your guy friends. Like, you need that time to unwind, because if he doesn't go to the gym or play basketball, then all of that pent up energy, it's like a wild dog. It's like you don't take the dog out to go run, that pent up energy, that dog's gonna bite you. And so like for him, if I don't let him go work out or play basketball with his boys, then I know that pent up energy is gonna get taken out on me. And so I'm always like, go have fun, do your thing, obviously within respect. Like he needs to, like, you know, not be out all night. He just texts me and communicate like, hey, I'm gonna be home by this time. But like that, to me, that's super important when you're building your empire with somebody, like that you guys are on the same page and you guys give each other a good amount of free time every day, like at least 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And not pick each other apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, where did you even come up with that to like even give me the hour? Because most people don't think like that normally.
I don't really come up with anything. You just have a class and I just watch her hang out at home so you can go to your class. Like that's, but not everybody has that type of opportunity, and it's all about just communicating. Okay, well, hey, I want to play basketball 3 times a week. Okay, cool. Well, I'll stay home and watch the kids so you can go to your workouts 3 times a week, or you can do what you want. I also do think, like, back to that, like keeping each other like top notch for each other. I think that's important.
I want to look hot for you.
Yeah, it's important. Like, it's,
you know what, one thing that was cool,
you know?
he did for me the other day, like I had some clothes and I guess they weren't like cutting it, ladies, and he ended up going on like Temu and like ordering me stuff without me even knowing what he got me. And it was so cool because he picked out things that he thought that
she has a nice body. She wears a lot of big boxy flowy dresses, this and stuff, and it's like,
I like to be classy.
I do. I understand, but
I like to be classy and conservative sometimes.
But your conservative is over conservative.
I know. That's that Texas in me.
And the thing is, like, you buy size, like, okay, even stuff that's conservative, she buys stuff that's too big because her mental image of herself is bigger than she thinks she is.
But every time I go out, I attract these guys hit on me at the grocery store and stuff. Like, I'll not even be looking super cute. So sometimes
sometimes ladies don't need to over.
Sometimes I don't want to overdo it.
I know, but ladies don't need to overdo it, like the super hair curl, all this and that. Just,
I know, I don't really have any makeup on.
Go somewhere half, like in the middle, and you'll be just.
I don't have makeup on right now. I have a little mascara.
Yeah, looks good.
My eyebrows are a little done. I didn't really fix I'm in like, you know, my lounge stuff today because I'm literally feeding my baby right now. But
if your other person, like, you can't show, like, they don't want to show up for you like they did day one. You don't want to show up for them that like they day one. Like, you got some real thinking to do in the conversations, because it should be where you want the best for that other person. You want the
okay, go.
You want the best for that other person. You want that person to be their top level that they can be. They want you to be your top level you can be.
Yeah.
You push each other to be the best. So like in physical fitness, in business, in health and wealth, in their arts, in their creativity, whatever that is that they like, if you see they like something, but they don't do it a lot, you want someone who pushes you to do something they know you like a lot. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want somebody to do that. Like, she paints sometimes, but I try to push her to paint, but like, she doesn't do it all the time, and I don't know why. And I try to tell her, like, and she gets really mad at me when I tell her, just turn your stupid phone off, because she has ADD. She does, right? And other people have ADD, and sometimes I get ADD, but it's bad because it literally traps her and sucks her in, and she's like this, and she can't get out of that and see what else is going on. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, phones are cool and stuff like that for business or this and that. But at the end of the day, you don't want it to control you, right? Use it as a tool. But besides that,
Right.
don't use it for anything. Don't sit there, scroll down. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, I understand there's one or two funny things, but to just spend like 15 minutes
Well, you
scrolling,
get
like you're
wrapped up
just,
in that group chat sometimes.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
chat with people I know, though.
One thing though I will say
That's a chat
is
with people I
like
know. That's
the
not Instagram.
I've been guilty of, because I've deleted my
Sometimes.
Instagram and then got it back. He's helped me build up my Instagram and then I like taken it over. But anyways, one thing I do like is when you are scrolling, it's the comparison game. It's like the comparison game. So, but what I've learned is you're actually supposed to turn those comparisons where it's like if you get jealous of somebody's life, that's actually like a good thing. That means that those are the things that you want. And so that's like what you need to start figuring out, like, okay, if that person was able to do it, how can I do that? And so you have to kind of start working backwards of like, if you want that dream life, you got to like start doing the numbers. So like him, when he wanted to hit that 40K month, and he's done more than that, by the way, he's hit higher numbers than that. But like you have to just work backwards. It's like, how many clients am I going to have to get in order to hit those numbers, and how am I going to actively, what am I going to do to get it? And you have to like stay so focused on it, like your top 3 things of the day. Like, what are you actively going to do? So like, what is your day-to-day like, babe?
And then
like,
I'm out after this.
Yeah. What is your day-to-day? Like, what do you do every
I
day?
wake up. As soon as I wake
consistent.
up, I either take a shower or I don't take a shower, and I try to fight opening my laptop before I go to the store. So I just go to the store down the street. I get my little energy drink. I take my energy drink, drink my water, take my magnesium, my B vitamins, whatever time, like 8:30, 9, 9:30, kind of whatever.
It's different.
If I stay up too late, then it's a later time. If I go to bed early, then I wake up pretty early. And then it depends. Like today, I didn't work out yet. I don't know if we're gonna work out or this and that. But like you only need like four good sessions a week as far as working out. Like, you don't have to overdo it. You mix that in with walks, run, little jogs, or whatever. So as long as you're consistently something around the 4 mark and tracking your calories, that's another thing. Like that's why she lost her 5 or 6 pounds, but now she's still stuck and she hasn't moved further because she stopped being accountable and tracking.
I've been tracking again. I just started doing it.
Okay, well,
I've been reading 10 pages a day.
The point is, once you be accountable and once you track, you see the differences. When you track and be accountable in your business or whatever you're doing, you see the numbers change. When you're tracking accountable in your food, you see the pounds come off. If you're tracking accountable and you're lifting weight and you're trying to lift more weight than the past 2 weeks or whatever, you see the change. Being accountable will make the change in whatever you're trying to do, but you have to track it and you have to be accountable. Yeah. It works for anything. If you're not tracking, you're not going to see the goal that you want to see. You have to track, and at least tracking, like, you don't always have to write things down. I mean, if you haven't done the tracking and the accountability stuff, I highly suggest it. But if you know most of it in your head, then you can kind of go off of your head and get a decent place. But it's not going to be as powerful as if you're writing it down. With all this stuff said, like it's a lot of the results that you get in life are based on the actions that you take in your life. And going back to the morning thing she was talking about, my routine, it's simple. I just wake up. I either open up the laptop or don't open up the laptop first. I try to fight not opening up the laptop first, go get my energy drink, come back, take my vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff, open up the laptop and go to work. And the last thing that I'll say, and then I work till whenever. My difficult part is working when I don't need to work. I check things when I don't need to check them. I call people when I don't need to call them. That's my biggest fault, is over caring, over putting work in when I don't need to. I could probably take on another 30, 40 clients if I didn't, to be honest.
Yeah. And even I've been starting to do it. We just launched ads for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying
I had 4 clients. Now I'm down to 1. So I have room for 3 more. If anybody has a small business, needs help running ads, I got you. I can do the social media as well as your AI chatbot. But yeah, now I've just completely dedicated my time to, like, that's what I'm doing now, is basically,
because I tell her all the time, like, you have wasted so much time. Like, you could have made so much money.
He's already built it. Oh, that was one.
Oh, wait, I want to get one more thing, and then I'm out.
But wait. I wanted you to share what were some of the fun things that you bought for yourself, and then like what are some of your future
Okay,
goals
well, I'll finish.
for us together.
Yeah. So, one thing I'll always tell you that's taken me where I am is I've cared more about my clients than I have myself.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people are different. Oh, how can I make this sale? How can I make this money? How can I get this for myself?
You're
It's
all
not about you.
value.
If you bring enough value and you always help them and help them and help them and help them and help them, they are going to pay you. Why do I like maybe 1 month things go amazing and then month 2, so maybe it slows down for a client, or 3, it's like this? And why do I just give my service for free? Because I want that client for a year. I don't want that client for 1 time. I don't want them for 2 times. I want to take the 2K payment and turn it into 24 different payments from that one person. I don't want just a 2K payment 1 or 2 times.
He does a money back guarantee for that reason.
I
so
do.
People feel secure and
Right?
trust.
And I always try to literally help every way I can. But at the end of the day, if they only want replacements, if they only want this, if they only want that, if they're not a real good salesperson, there's only so much shit that I can possibly do to help somebody. Yeah. And that's the truth of it is but if you bring that value, keep bringing the value, you're never going to run out of clients or money. It's just not going to happen.
One thing I was really proud about you is because you found a really good tax person, and we were able to like transition from the LLC to the C Corp. So now
S Corp.
Yeah, to the S Corp. So now I can get like insurance through your business. Mm-hmm. You're able to do some big write-offs now.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big change. Setting up the payroll. By the way, I thought payroll was going to be really tough to set up, but it's not. If you need a good payroll company, I got you. But yeah, like learning the ropes. It's been interesting. Now, the next step, I think, obviously, is you've got the other business that you're starting with your business partner. And
right, to make an actual business instead of just like maximizing freelancing.
You want to have
I've probably maximized freelancing.
Yeah, you want to work because you do a lot of the
consulting, maximize consulting.
But this next one is going to be, actually building out an office, a team. That's a whole nother ball game that we're learning.
Thing. Yeah.
But we have some big goals. Like we want to get into the more real estate. This year you just bought us our house. And normally we weren't all about the liabilities and the asset type thing. Like we were trying to follow what Grant Cardone was saying, like buy somewhere, live in it, and rent out the other rooms. Obviously for that stage in our life. Yeah, but
once we had a baby, she forced us to buy a house.
We needed something more secure. And so that was one of the bigger, that was like, he leveled us up last year by getting us like a dream house. We weren't even looking, we got approved for like more money to get for a house. But before we weren't even looking at houses reasonably like to what we're living in now. And so he really did change, what our circumstances were, from not being able to pay rent to then hitting the 40K, 50K, 60K months to now being able to buy pretty much like a nice dream house. And then being able to do some big tax write-offs. So like getting a nice vehicle with like 6,000 pounds. Now, some people are like, don't buy the car. For us, we utilized it as a tax write-off. Like we weren't doing it so much just to like be flashy or showy. It's literally like we just didn't want to give our money away to the IRS. So that's why we went down that route. And then our goal is obviously to get more real estate in the future. But yeah, so I was just telling about how you utilize the tax write-off. Sorry, mom life. I'm taking care of the baby. So we're gonna wrap this up. Babe, did you want to talk about the house or the car? I was telling him how you changed our lives pretty much. Oh, it's okay, baby. Come here. Sorry, she's a little 2-year-old baby sleeping. So, babe, what about your car you just got?
That's fun. It's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I know he's gonna get a Lamborghini eventually.
I will.
That'll be fun. But what would you say to anybody that's like, it's okay? Sorry, y'all. This is what it is, family life. We're building the business. This is real. Would you have anything else you want to add to anybody that's like getting started, trying to figure out how to balance and
figure out the most important thing is to figure out how to add value to other people and charge for it. Just so you know, there are personal trainers and there are people out there that make 20, 30, 40, 50, 60K a month because they've learned how to guarantee that someone's going to hit the results as long as they hit this. So it's all how you purpose it. Sure, a trainer can charge you $150 an hour, but how many trainers have you been to? You've been to this and this and that, right? But do you have a coach, somebody who texts you every single morning, make sure you're eating this, make sure you're that, are you tracking this? See, now all of a sudden you can turn a $150 an hour, $100 session into a package for 5 or 6K for 3 months worth of work, as long as you can guarantee to hit that result that they want to hit.
Yeah,
it's just all how you position it, who you're talking to. If you're talking to like certain average people, that might be too expensive, but if you're talking to high level entrepreneurs or high level business people in New York or whatever, and knowing how to target those people and find those people, now you can say, yeah, okay, well, if you're this type of person, I can get you there. Because somebody who makes $5, $6, $7, $800,000 a year, a couple grand to get the result that they've really been wanting to get, and you can guaranteeing it, then now it's going to now they feel the value and they'll pay it. And if you can show that you've gotten other people the result, it's just how you position it. It's just all how you do it. There's no set thing of that it has to be this rate or how someone, how much you charge somebody. You can charge them whatever you want. I could charge people 4 times as much as what I do, but I just try to find people in at a lower par. There can be points probably where I'm going to charge more, make changes, where maybe I'm going to do things where I get certain percentages and things like that. But I just always go by the motto: if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. So to recap, y'all, what we went over today, basically, if you're starting off, get your testimonials, charge, don't maybe not charge right off the bat. Like first get some testimonials. You got to get some work under you. Then you can start toying around with how much your pricing are. Obviously, if you're a 9-to-5, continue to excel in that. Figure out to see if there's any other ways to make money within that role, and if not, then then start learning a skill set. And then
always value your family.
Value your family. Provide value for people. And who cares if there's only like 1 or 2 people showing up on your life? If you can change one person's life, you may be able to change hundreds of people's lives. Because if that one person you change,
you will be able to.
If you change one person's life, it can like have the butterfly effect on everyone else's that their lives touch. So just remember that is like all you need to do is help one person, and then you're actually could be helping way more. And then get right with your husband and wife, get on the same page. Don't give up on each other. Like give each other the space that they need. If they need to go out with their friends, let them go out every once in a while. Go work out together, have a date night. It could be a date night together in your backyard in the pool, or going for a walk around a track. It doesn't have to cost anything. And set some goals for yourself. Set some goals. And if you're seeing other people that have something you have, don't get jealous of them.
Ask them how did you
become friends with that person,
and then ask them how to do it, and then ask them, hey, can I pay you for an hour of your time?
Just informational interview, or pay them for their time.
Ask for an hour of their time. Say, how much do I have to pay you for an hour of your time?
So that's kind of the takeaways from everything we've gone over today. Obviously, I'm still a nursing mama here. We're building our empire together. He's a high multi 6-figure earner, so he's been able to do it. He's been able to crush 40, 50K, 60K months, been able to get some nice things for us, have investments. So now, babe, where can everybody find you on social media? Like, what's your Instagram?
Conrad Quinter.
What's your website?
Conrad Quinter Consulting.
Okay, so Instagram is Conrad Quinter Consulting.
Yeah.
And your website is market-monster.com. So it's market and the little minus sign, monster.com. Mm-hmm. And if you want to level up your business, you need leads. I mean, Conrad is the go-to. I am too. I can help you. I have Pocket Boss Agency on Instagram, POKIT BOSS agency. And of course, you know where to find me, Jenna Camille Burns on Insta. So, anyways, I just wanted to say, like, wow, wow, wow. That was an incredible conversation. And yeah, let me see if anybody has any questions right now. Let's see here. I hope you all enjoyed getting a behind the scenes look at our journey and picked up some valuable insights along the way. I want to give a huge thank you to my hubby, Conrad, for sharing his expertise and being such an amazing partner. I love you, babe.
Love you too, babe.
And it's both in life and in business. He's amazing. And so if you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend or with anybody that might benefit. And of course, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jenna Quinter, for more great content. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or suggestions, drop your comments below. And I would love to hear from you. Love to connect with you. So thanks again for joining us today. And until next time, keep stepping into your future self. And remember, smart is sexy, y'all. So take care of everyone. Okay, love you. And yeah, let me see if there's any other questions before I drop off. Let me go in here. But yeah, I really appreciate those of you who tuned in. I hope you got some value out of this. And let me know if you want Conrad and I to do more lives together. You know, obviously we're in our home. Okay, so somebody said great advice. Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
No
okay.
problem. Yeah,
Have a blessed
if you have
day.
any questions, we can answer them now. We can do a quick Q&A. That's what you're always supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm seeing if there's anybody else that had any questions. Let me go to LinkedIn real quick because we're live on there too, by the way. Let's see. You know, eventually we'll have the fancy studio set up and everything, but for now, this is my creation content room, y'all. But let's see. What is Market Monster known for? Somebody asked
That's
that.
a good question.
What is Market Monster known for?
Well, it's just me, pretty much. It is, well, it's not even pretty much. It is me. So I guess known for giving tons of value, making sure that people are getting, you know, what they're wanting or as close to what they're wanting as possible, listening to people, communicating with people, and literally putting my money where the mouth is. If you don't get the results, I'll give you your money back. Or you're not happy, I'll give you your money back. So, I mean, it's pretty much a win-win situation, because if it doesn't work out, you waste a few grand in ad spend and you get your money back from me. If it does work out, it changes your business and your life forever. Because when something hits, when I do it, it just blows up every time, you know.
And how would you say, like, how can work-life balance benefit professionals? That's one of the questions.
Do you take your work home? Is the question. Like,
Yeah.
do they take their work home? If you don't take your work home, then it's
I think you're learning how to like separate it.
I'm learning how to separate it.
Because we want to take more vacations soon, and it, you know, when you got a baby, it's just kind of tough to plan. I mean, I traveled a lot with her by myself in the beginning, around when she was 3 months, which shout out to moms who travel alone with toddlers. But it's not, I would say it's not hard, but it's more so hard when you have like the stroller and the car seat and everything. That's kind of tough. But I've learned that you can rent those things pretty much anywhere you go. So, and baby wearing, obviously. Yeah. But like with work, like, what would you say to the dads who are, you know, handling it all?
It's part of your job.
It's part of your job?
No, there is no.
You're a good dada. Yeah,
there is no easy street. You want to be a good dad. You want to be a good provider. You want to take care of things.
You got to man up.
There is no easy.
You got to man up.
You got to man up, but there is just no easy. There is no easy. And if your girl's doing all the work for you, bringing the bill.
Yeah, the deadbeats. What do you want to say? Deadbeats.
You deserve what you get in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
until you realize maybe you lose what you have, and then you realize what you need to do to be able to keep.
Yeah, you need to hit rock bottom, and like really, then the only way is up once you hit rock bottom. You know, like once you go so low, you there ain't nowhere else to go unless it's 6 feet under, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, okay, let me see if there's any other questions. Looks like we got another comment. Hold on. Somebody else. Boom. Okay. Hey, what's up, Dean? Dean Henson came on. I went to high school with him. So, hey, Dean, thanks for tuning in. All right. Well, any last thoughts?
Not really, no.
All right. Well, we touched on this. We went over everything, y'all. So thanks so much for joining us. I will try to do some more lives with Conrad. So if you guys want to see us in the future, you know, I'll start hopping on more. And of course, if you want to be interviewed, like if you want some free PR and you want to get interviewed, you know, shout out to me. I'd love to hear your story. That's what I'm all about. So, and if you are a female and you are looking to join a free community, then go to selfmadebabes.com, click the button, and it will take you over to the Facebook page. So I am loving helping women step into their future selves. And that's why I do this, is just, it's a passion. And yeah, so I just truly believe that everybody starts at ground zero. And when you surround yourself with good people and community, then you will excel at a higher level. And I am throwing a confidence and charity event with Amanda Moore, September 20th. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's a content day at a really cool up and coming studio in Miami. If that's something you're interested in, just message me and I look forward to, I'll send you over the link. So anyways, y'all have an amazing day. Thanks so much.
Sorry. See, I get ADD.
Well, he's working. He's working.
Yeah, I am.
You're always working.
I actually am working. Yeah. Yeah, it was great. Hopefully you guys got some value out of that, and stop overthinking stuff. Stop buying so many courses. Stop doing all this. At the end of the day, you can learn the skill sets, whatever skill sets you're trying to learn from YouTube, and just understand if you give value and enough value, someone's going to feel that it makes sense to make a transaction. If there's not enough value, there's not going to make any sense to make a transaction. That's it.
That's what I've been doing, is just reading 10 pages a day and focusing on following one person. I had such bad shiny object syndrome that I've had to let go of a lot of things I was looking into. And I mean, he is hitting goals. Like whatever numbers I give him, he pretty much blasts them out of the park into the space world. So I'm like, okay, I need to follow everything he does. So follow one person, ask them for an hour of their time to learn their strategy of what they're doing, and listen and implement. Just take action on it. So, all right, y'all. Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. See ya.